let's kick off a quick video about the oil painting method that I use for my terrain. These are the 5 colors that I use predominantly for all the stuff that I do. I use raw sienna on my floor plates that are yellow. It's a nice bright color and keeps them looking mostly yellow. We have burnt sienna, we have raw umber, burnt umber, and we have Payne's gray. Payne's gray is there for anything that you want to be black, like soot or oil. Burnt sienna is a great rust color. And then raw sienna and burnt umber are great dark rust, really grimy, icky colors that look really good over a rusty primer. Here's all that I'm using for a palette. It's really just a scrap of styrene with some paint on there and 2 really cheap Amazon brushes. I think there's a pack of 50 for about $13. So here's the method. Basically, all you need to do is add a tiny bit of water to your color. In this case, I'm going to be using raw sienna as the main color for my floor. And as you can see, it's a big glop of paint with a little bit of water just to loosen it up a little bit. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just start working it in to the nooks and crannies, and it's going to be really heavy. This is what I'm talking about whenever people ask me, and I'm always like, I think my method is a little different. I'm not doing washes. You're trying to get a lot of color and a lot of pigment all over it, whatever you're working on, to really kind of get the feel of it being old and crusty and gross. So I'm going to do a small section as an example. So the important thing is to work pretty quickly, because even though these are oils, they start to set. It's hard to pull the color off as they start to dry. So work fairly quickly. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt sienna in. It's a wonderful rust color. It's very, very rich and feels really good for like good bright rust, especially on this stuff. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt umber towards the edge of the wall, a little raw umber. And here's the thing, you end up basically just like blending your color on your terrain piece. And you can go back and you can work it. I'm gonna add, let's see, I'm gonna add some burnt sienna in here. Anywhere that I go in and add texture, I tend to add more rusty colors as it feels more like oxidation and more just scaling of the rust itself. And around this vent, I'm going to go in and add a bunch of raw umber and burnt sienna. I'm going to work that down into the cracks in between the floor tiles and make sure that we have a lot of color down. And I'll just do this over here, get a little more down, work this in towards the door especially as well. Alright, so we've got color down everywhere. It's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So now, this is all I do. I take a paper towel, fold it in half, and you literally are just going to rub the color in and off. And I'm picking up most of the color in the yellow tiles. And you end up kind of going in all directions because you want to make it so that you can't see any brush strokes. You don't want to see any brush strokes or any visible streaking from your paper towel. Sometimes you can actually use that to your advantage because it'll look like color is being pulled down a surface. But in this case, on the floor especially, you want it pretty smooth, pretty flat. And then what I have been doing recently is I'll take some burnt sienna and I will actually stipple it on any areas of texture to look more like rust. I'm going to do that over here like that, and then I'm going to take the Payne's gray and I'm going to just get a little bit of that on a smaller brush, and I'm going to work it into this vent. It's going to look like the vent is just crusty and it's just blowing oil, blowing smoke, and just general nastiness that fits in with the right vibe for Necromunda. And that is about it. Maybe I'll take a little raw umber and work it into this rust patch as well. And then I'll probably go into this area next to the wall, do a little stippling as well, and in this rust patch and under the stairs. But beyond that, that is about it for how I do my terrain. And here's a quick shot of what it looks like in practice. You know, we're going from this bright yellow sprayed base coat, and we're going to go into this really nice, rusty, aged look. Till next time, y'all.